Listen, Timmy, I'm a very simple man when it comes to my sports picks. Whenever I hear a name like Anatoly Tokov, I just think that they're Russian and that they trained
Yep.
in like the Siberian tundra and like freezing cold temperatures. So I know that he is an underdog, but he's on a 7-fight win streak and you're getting good value at plus 225. I'm
Oh
taking the
yeah.
Russian all the way, all day long.
What do you hear? What do you say? This is how to fuck up your parlay. I'm Timmy Shoes with Inside Fighting, and I'm joined once again by Jesse Rowe. Jesse, we've got a little bit of a mix-up. We're doing UFC and Bellator because it's a big weekend for Bellator. It's Derrick Lewis fight weekend. He's going up against Sergey Spivac. But we've also got the end of an era. Another legend is retiring. Fedor Emelianenko versus Ryan Bader. And yeah, we've got some interesting fights. What do you think of these fights?
Timmy Shoes, first off, great to see you, brother. Always a pleasure joining
Always.
you on the show. I'm here at the Inside Fighting Sportsbook, official sportsbook of Inside Fighting. I've got my hard kombucha prepared and ready to go so that I am so that I have the liquid courage to make these bets with you today. I'm very excited about these fights. I will say Derrick Lewis fight weekend is always a fight weekend. He's sort of like the people's champion of the internet and the UFC. Everybody loves Derrick Lewis. It's always an event when he fights. So I'm very excited about that. But there's nothing you can't say about Fedor. He's a legend, arguably the greatest heavyweight of all time. I'm very excited to see that fight as well. So yeah, let's do it. Let's make our picks.
There's a lot of sentimentality into this. So fans, be wary. All right. Timmy is making picks based off of his sentimentality. I am a Derrick Lewis diehard. I love the Black Beast. Last time he won, I tore my shirt off. I threw myself down on the floor like he does. And
just don't stick your tongue out, brother.
But yeah, maybe next time when he wins. But Fedor Emelianenko is not arguably the greatest heavyweight. He is the greatest heavyweight, in my opinion.
Right.
So jumping right into it, we've got Derrick Lewis. He's a plus 195 underdog going in against Sergey Spivac as a minus 230. Derrick is 2-3 in his last 5. He got knocked out in both of his last fight against Pavlovich and Tai Tuivasa. Spivac, on the other hand, he is 4-1. He's coming off back-to-back TKO victories against Greg Hardy and Augusto Sakai. What do you make of this fight?
Listen, I'm going to make this very quick. I'm a huge Derrick Lewis fan. If this fight were against Sergey Pavlovich, I'd be very, very, very concerned for Derrick Lewis. However, it is Sergey Spivac. I do think Spivac is the superior fighter. I'm taking Spivac, but it is not a pick that I want to take. It is my head overriding my heart a little bit. I will be rooting for Derrick Lewis, but I will be placing a wager on Spivac. I just believe that he's just got too much. And plus, who knows how much of this weight cut that Derrick Lewis did. He lost so much weight. I don't know if you saw these photos. Apparently he is the same weight is what he says, but he looks like a light heavyweight right now based on the photos that he posted. He said it's bad angles. It's just different lighting. I'll take his word for it. But he did get COVID. This fight got delayed. They postponed this fight from like a month or two ago, and it's happening now. Spivac, but I will be rooting for Lewis.
Listen, I respect the pick, but I'm going with my heart, and I'm going with my head a little bit too, because how many times have we heard Derrick Lewis is fighting a guy, this guy's the better fighter, and then Derrick Lewis knocks him out. He is the KO leader of the UFC with 13 knockouts. You know, how many times has he fought guys who were quote unquote better than him? You know, Curtis Blades, his wrestling is too good. He knocked him out. You know, Volkov, he was losing that fight, the whole fight, knocked him out. So we've heard this before. I'm going with Derrick Lewis, the Black Beast. He's a new mythical fighter, skinny Black Beast, all right?
Let's
go.
He
lost that weight on purpose. If he was saying all of that, like, oh, it's just the angles, that's Derrick Lewis being Derrick Lewis.
Yeah.
Skinny Derrick Lewis is going to knock Sergey Spivac out.
Give me that Bellator, Timmy.
Going into the Bellator, we've got
love Derrick Lewis rooting for you. Let's go.
3 fights on deck. Bellator 290. Okay, we're gonna do just the 3 fights on the main card. The first is Sabah Homasi versus Brennan Ward. Sabah Homasi is a minus 190 favorite, 3-2 in his last 5. He's coming off 2 wins, a KO and a submission. And Brennan Ward is also 3-2 in his last 5, coming off 2 TKOs, and he is a plus 160 underdog. What do you make of this fight?
The only thing I make of this fight is I'm taking Homasi all the way, simply because earlier today we posted a story on Inside Fighting's Instagram that when asked by the reporters at a Bellator media event yesterday about this fight, he said that he plans on blowing his load and coming all over the place in the cage.
Geez.
So if that is any indication of the confidence that this young man has, I am taking Homasi all the way, no questions asked.
Right, and you know what? I'm going to have to agree. I like Homasi in that fight. He's a favorite. He's not a huge favorite, but he's a considerable favorite, and I think he's going to get it done.
Yeah.
Now, heading into the first championship fight at Bellator 290, it is Johnny Eblen versus Anatoly Tokov. These are 2 guys I've always thought, 2 guys who should find their way into the UFC at some point. Eblen is only 31. He's undefeated, 12-0. Tokov is on a 7-fight win streak. He's 31-2, so a very impressive record. I believe Tokov is only 34. So these are 2 guys I've always thought, because it's always a question, what are the Bellator guys that might do well in the UFC? These are, Tokov is 32, by the way. These are 2 guys I'm like, I'd like to see these guys in the UFC. I want to see what they can do. Don't know if they'd become champion or anything like that, but I think they might be top 10 at middleweight. So what do you make of this fight?
Listen, Timmy, I'm a very simple man when it comes to my sports picks. Whenever I hear a name like Anatoly Tokov, I just think that they're Russian and that they trained in like the Siberian tundra and like freezing cold temperatures. So I know that he is an underdog, but he's on a 7-fight win streak and you're getting good value at plus 225. I'm taking the Russian all the way, all day long. Let's go.
I like that pick too. I was originally going with Eblen because he's a minus 265 favorite.
Right.
But at plus 225, 7-fight win streak. He's from Tobolsk. I don't know where in Russia that is. It is in Russia.
So it was Russia. I was just assuming it was Russia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Russia. He's from Tobolsk. I don't know if that's Siberia or Dagestan, what area that is. But these Russians come out with the Sambo wrestling.
It doesn't matter where it is. It's all the same at a certain point.
Yeah. So I like Tokov too. I'm going with Tokov. Eblen's 12.
That's good value. $100. You come out with 225. I like that. It's good.
Oh yeah. And now the feature fight in my mind, even though Derrick Lewis is fighting, Ryan Bader versus Fedor Emelianenko. These are 2 legends in their own right. Ryan Bader is a legend in his own right. He had a pretty good run in the UFC. Fedor is my undisputed heavyweight GOAT. He had 27 wins in a row at heavyweight at one point, fighting his entire career being the smaller guy. I mean, you listen to the names he's beaten. He's beaten Big Nog twice. He's beaten Frank Mir, Rampage Jackson, Andrei Arlovsky, Mark Coleman, Kevin Randleman. Like, the dude is a legend, as legend gets. He's 40-6 overall. But he is a heavy underdog, plus 275. Ryan Bader has already beat him, knocked him out last time they fought. He's a minus 330. Now, Bader is 3-2 in his last 5. He's coming off 2 Ws. And Fyodor is 4-1 in his last 5. That only loss was against Ryan Bader. So, what do you make of this fight?
So, I'm taking Ryan Bader, but that's not to say that I'm not considering like a side bet here on Fedor. I just think Fedor is arguably like one of the greatest heavyweights ever. You say he's the best. I'll take, it's like you're the MMA expert here. I'm the MMA casual here at Inside Fighting. But I will say Fedor is a legend. I'm taking Bader just because he'd knock him out. A lot of old fighters like Fedor, they don't come off of knockouts as well as other fighters do. That takes a toll. I like the Bader pick. The odds are just so overwhelming, minus 330.
Yeah.
But and Bader doesn't get enough respect. That dude's an absolute animal. He's awesome. And I would say, though, I do like the idea of hedging my bets. We can get into your super parlay. A little $50 sprinkle on Tokov and Fedor. Let's go with the Eastern European parlay here. A little $50 wager. And as a little way to hedge your bets, I think that's good return on your dollar, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
So I like that. I
We'll
like
call
that
that the
little
mother.
parlay. I don't know what your super parlay is, but who do you got?
That's the two-leg Mother Russia parlay.
Yeah.
All right. Now, but my super parlay, here it is. It is plus
Oh, wait. Who are you
5,000.
taking? Are you taking Fedor or are you taking Bader?
Oh, I'm skipping myself again. Fedor
Yeah.
all the way.
Okay.
I told you guys in the beginning, I'm going with my heart. I obviously think Ryan Bader has a lot of ways to win. Knocked him out in the last fight. That could happen again. But this is Fedor's retirement fight. I want him to win so badly that I can't pick against him. So I'm going Fedor. I think he knocks him out maybe in the second round. I don't know why I'm picking the round, but I want to see it happen.
Those are two picks. Two picks, by the way, where I'm picking with my head over my heart. I want Fedor and Derrick Lewis to win, but I'm picking against them. It's kind of tough. Anyways,
like you're going the intelligent route on paper at least. All right,
let me hear it.
We are at Timmy's Super Parlay plus 5,387. If you put down $10, you win $540. All right, I'm going with Sabah Hamasi, the only favorite in this parlay, 4-leg parlay. Sabah Hamasi, Fedor Emelianenko plus 275, Derrick Lewis plus 195, and Anatoly Tolkov at plus 225. 4-leg parlay. You pick 3 underdogs, 1 favorite, and then you put down $10 and you win 540. Jesse, you're going with this part. I mean, you put $10 down on this, right?
Yeah. I'm a big fan of hedging my bets. Of course I love to make a lot of money, but I also don't like losing a lot of money. So I like hedging my bets. I think I hate losing money more than I love making money. It's a weird dynamic. But I will say, if I'm looking at the parlay here, I do think the parlay buster could potentially. I'm looking at this. Is actually tough. This is actually kind of a coin flip with who the parlay buster is here because the odds are so close. I like the parlay. I would consider removing Derrick Lewis only because I do think Spivac's going to win that fight. I love Derrick Lewis. That's just my personal opinion, but I like it. I do like it. I would also consider a 2-fight parlay with Tolkov and Fedor, as I mentioned earlier.
I like that. I like that. Here's a fun little fact for people who are down Fedor. I said he was 4-1. That one loss was against Ryan Bader, but those other 4 wins were all by knockout.
Love it.
Listen to these names: Tim Johnson, Rampage Jackson, Chael Sonnen, and Frank Mir. Now, obviously, these guys are not in their prime, but neither is Fedor, and he's knocking them out. So I like Fedor by knockout. So, yeah, that's my super parlay.
Love it.
This was how to fuck up your parlay with Inside Fighting. You can find us at insidefighting.com. We're on the social medias. We're on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Subscribe, like, do the things. Thanks for watching.